Today I would like to share with you, if I may, a little bit about my experience with spirituality. I'd like to tell you a little bit about how my life has been transformed, and I hope that it will inspire you to start, if you haven't started yet, on a spiritual path. To me, spirituality is the only way to transform yourself completely. There are many things out there that you can use to change certain areas of your life. Some habit or some thought patterns that you're not happy with. Perhaps some health problems that you need to deal with. Different kinds of issues. There are so many different methods, so many different techniques. There's so many different schools of thought. And I've tried many different ones before, but for me the only thing that really works, and that really works because it transforms everything, it changes everything, not just one part of your being, but it's a complete transformation, because I feel like I'm a completely different person from the person I was yesterday, or 3 years ago. So spirituality is the way to go. But again, like I said before, I say many times, don't take my word for it. Try it for yourself. See if it works for you. I'm sure it will. So I hope to inspire you by going back to the start of my journey and see what kind of person I was at that time, and see what kind of person I am today. Just 3 short years ago, I was, like most people, I was highly judgmental, miserable. I was so miserable. So critical of everything, so unhappy. I just hated everything. I couldn't stand anything, anybody. I was depressed. And when I would go out, walk on the street, I would always be in a hurry. I just want to get there. Needless to say, I wasn't in the present moment at that time. I was completely lost in my mind, in my thoughts. I would walk on the street and I would look at people and I would judge everybody. Oh, this guy is so ugly. This lady, God, she's so fat. Do something. Get on a diet or do something, but you're gonna die. Or something like that. All kinds of thoughts that go through everybody's mind, and they don't even know it. I didn't even realize it until I decided to wake up and I saw that, and I thought, oh, that's crazy. I must be insane or something. yeah, I would get so frustrated, so mad at people, smokers on the street. I'd get so mad at them, and people who were just standing in the way or walking slowly, totally unaware of my presence or the presence of other people who were trying to get where they needed to go. But these people were just standing in the way as if nobody else was there. Those are examples of what I was going through at that time. I was miserable. I was totally miserable, I tell you. And I would come home, and I had nothing to come home to, no one to come home to, and I just felt miserable. And the weather doesn't help. It's quite rainy here in Vancouver in the winter, the entire winter. Actually, fall, winter, and spring are rainy and dark. So it was quite depressing in those days. It was quite depressing. But somehow I realized that, and I wanted to get out of that, and I wanted to change my life. And I guess, although I wasn't really aware of it at that time, I guess what happened is that I just decided to follow my heart. And things fell into place one by one. I won't give too much details. It's just a story, but it's not so important. But the main thing is I started with awareness, being aware all the time, more and more. And then understanding came in. As I officially started my spiritual journey, then I started to question everything. I wanted to understand how everything works. And but I was not satisfied always with what people or teachers would say. So I started questioning and understanding things better, and through a greater awareness expanded my vision of things, expanded the way I saw things. So it took some time. But after a while, as I noticed these thoughts, these judgments and criticism in my mind, and I started being aware more and more, the criticism started to go away. The understanding that things are the way they are, what is, really helped me a lot. As I understood why people behave the way they do, why they do such things, then I began to say, well, it is like that. So what can you do? So I gradually stopped judging people. It took some time. It was a gradual process, I can say. But I also realized at the same time that, hey, this is not me judging. It's my ego. It's the voice in my head. But that's not me. And that helped a lot too. So I reached a point, I can't remember, it wasn't a specific day or anything like that, but I did reach a point, perhaps a year and a half ago, where I no longer judged people. It's quite rare that it happens. It happens sometimes still, but it's very rare, and I see it right away for what it is. It's just a voice in my head, and I don't pay attention to it. I just let it be, and it doesn't take long for it to disappear. So, but a year and a half ago, I realized, oh, I'm not judging people anymore. And that was really good. That was a good realization. It's like, I felt so much at peace because of that. I no longer felt the need to criticize people. If I saw a smoker on the street, I don't like smoke. So if I saw a smoker on the street, then I would just try to avoid him. Instead of criticizing and judging, what I would do is, oh, there's a smoker. Okay, well, I'm going to stop and let him be on his way, or just cross the street. Go to the other side of the street to avoid him. And what happened is, there was a smoker, so okay, I'm gonna cross the street. I cross the street, and then he was ahead of me, and then suddenly he crosses the street too. So, okay, I guess I'll cross back. So I crossed again to the other side to avoid him. So instead of making a big fuss out of it, I had a lot of fun. This was very funny. So that's the change that occurred through spirituality, through being aware, through being in the present moment all the time, and through understanding that things are the way they are, that you can't change people, that there's a reason why they are like that, and I was like that too before. So it's all good, you know. I realized that the way I reacted to any situation was more important than the situation itself. It's all about whether you react or you respond. And I have chosen to respond instead of reacting. That's made all the difference. So, but that was not the end of it. It's one thing to not judge people, but that's kind of neutral also. It's great, but it went further, and that's not too long ago actually, maybe 2 months ago. One day it dawned on me as I was walking in the park here, being in the moment as always, and observing the nature, the beautiful trees, the lagoon, the animals, and the people. It suddenly dawned on me that everything is perfect, just the way it is. Absolutely everything. So I thought, wow, the trees are so beautiful and they're perfect. That's what perfection is. They wouldn't be more beautiful if they were different. They were absolutely perfect just the way they are. And then I thought about the animals. I thought about the view of the skyline from here. And I thought, everything's perfect. Even all the buildings. In the past I would say, oh, that building's ugly. But since that day, I look at every building and I see perfection. It's perfect just the way it is. That was quite an amazing realization. But it didn't stop there. It spread to everything. So I would look on the path. Even the path was perfect. And even the little pieces of trash that people would throw on the path was also perfect. And I started looking at the people, and I saw perfection in them as well. That was quite a revelation. It's like, wow, perfection. I could not find any words to judge or criticize any of the people that I saw in any way. All I could think in my mind, all I could see in my mind was perfection. Each and every single person that I looked at, the first thing that came to my mind was perfection. This person is perfect, just the way they are, just the way they dress, just the way they walk. And that was the same for absolutely everybody. And that really hit me. It was like, wow, this is another step even further. Perfection. Seeing the perfection in everything. We are so used to thinking that, oh, nothing is perfect, nobody's perfect. You can never be perfect. Everybody's teaching us that. We've been conditioned that way, to think that there is no such thing as perfection. But since that day, I realized that such is not the case. Actually, everything is perfect just the way it is. And everybody is perfect just the way he or she is. And it just made my life even more wonderful. I feel like I'm living in a magical world, some fantasy world, something where everything is where everybody's perfect, everything is perfect, nothing to worry about. I'm not thinking about the future, not worrying about the future. I'm not thinking about the past. Every day is a beautiful day. Every day is perfect. Every day is wonderful. It doesn't mean that every single event in my life can be considered a highly positive, joyful event. But I do consider them that way, no matter what. Everything is perfect. Everything is great. Fantastic. It is. And you know why? And that's the secret of spirituality. One of the secrets of spirituality, I can say, is that everything is perfect because I see it that way. Because I see it that way, then it is that way. So it's all a matter of perception. I see everything as perfect. Most people see everything as not perfect. What is the difference? Does that mean that things are perfect or not perfect? What is the difference? It's only a matter of perception. So you can choose to see everything as perfect, or you can choose to see everything as imperfect. It's just a choice you make. And through spiritual growth, you learn to make choices that reflect what you really want. So, needless to say, my life has been transformed completely. I think you can see that from what I've told you. I think this can only happen through spirituality. I really do. I really think that's the only solution to all of our problems, spirituality. Well, I hope I gave you something to think about, to contemplate on, something to inspire you. And one more thing I'd like to add is that spirituality is the easiest thing ever. It doesn't require any effort. It doesn't require any discipline. The only thing that's required is a remembrance. Just remember to be aware all the time, to be in the moment, to be here and now. It seems difficult at the beginning, but it's not difficult. You just have to remember. And every time you forget to be here and now, and then you realize that, then you're here and now again. So you come back. And the more you practice that, the more natural it becomes. For me, being in the moment is a natural part of me now. I don't even have to remember to do it. It's just the way it is. All the time. On rare occasions, I will be lost in my thoughts, but not for long. And I'm usually aware of it. Yeah, it's kind of strange. I do get lost in my thoughts sometimes, but only very short periods of time. And I'm very quickly aware of it. And I see, oh, there it goes again, that voice in my head. And I just let it go. It doesn't affect my life anymore. It doesn't control me anymore. Okay, I guess that's all I want to say for today. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you have a most perfect day. Every single day. Thank you. Bye-bye.